Hey guys, how's it going? It's me, and I'm back actually the week after for another weekly vlog, and I haven't really been able to call it the weekly vlog all year, but that's okay because this time I actually have some really cool stuff that I want to show you that is worthy of a vlog. And yeah, so we got in the Jocka Brick Scarlet Witch. I've made a lot of progress on my Robert Pattinson Batman custom, which I'm excited to share with you guys. I should have the first teaser edit ready to go by the time this vlog is over, and also going to do a quick little reaction to the Miss Marvel trailer because I actually never watched that, so I figured I would tack that on into this vlog as well, along with a few other cool things. So yeah, I'm glad to be doing a proper vlog. It has been a minute. Last week was just kind of me hanging out with my buddy Griffin from Portland, Oregon, who was here for a few days, and now we are back in business. I guess. We shall see. All right, really quick, just to go through all the figures that I've scored recently. Got the Clone Wars 2003 Grievous in, an actual creative use of repainting Black Series figures with the 2003 re-releases. You guys probably saw the smaller ones that I got in for the vintage line if you watched the previous vlog. I also got the 501st Jet Troopers at my local GameStop. In-store pre-orders, much better because you get to actually select the paint job, because these guys always be having QC issues, but they're definitely some, I would say, of the better clones to be released recently as of the last year. We also got Bucky Barnes, the Winter Soldier. Check him out. This is really awesome, of course, from the Winter Soldier, but with the Falcon and the Winter Soldier packaging instead, because it's basically they use the flashback sequence from that show as an excuse to release a new Winter Soldier, which I definitely approve of. But I also got the Batmobile, if you saw the previous vlog, and I built that. And guys, why is this Batmobile so big? I mean, it doesn't really look like it, but if you have this set or if you've seen anybody's reviews on it, this thing is really like unnecessarily oversized, but I mean, that's okay. It'll suffice for edits and stuff like that in Photoshop with my custom. That's really the only reason I picked it up. All right, so now we're going to take a look at Jocka Brick's Scarlet Witch minifigure, which comes in this really cool box, and it has the Jocka Brick logo kind of printed all over it. You pull that off, and you have like the clear card in there, and this really nice foam frame that holds the minifigure and all of its accessories. And this is just so interesting because I pre-ordered both this version of Wanda from Jocka Brick in May of 2021, I think, and then also Phoenix and Rex Mini Bricks version, and now having both in hand, it's really interesting, just the completely different styles that make for two very different resulting Wanda Maximoff minifigures from the series finale of that show. And while I really would say I prefer Phoenix's style and his design work over Jocka, I think this minifigure has so much to offer in the way of its accessories and really just, I mean, how much further Jocka was willing to go with, you know, like wraparound printing on the sides of the torso. And this hairpiece is really interesting as well. It's a completely different color actually from the more traditional Lego color that Phoenix and Rex Mini Brick went for with theirs. And again, I'll reiterate that I do kind of prefer the design work from Phoenix with the faces at least. And also you'll notice, I mean, this is just fantastic. They have the waist cape printed on, wrapping around the legs, kind of like what Lego would have done with their Wanda Maximoff minifigure. But I mean, with theirs, they obviously only printed on the front of the legs for that CMF. And then with Phoenix and Rex Mini Brick, they actually did a physical waist cape piece. Whereas over here with Jocka Brick, they not only did a physical, like, cloak and hood with the hair integration, but they also did these really fantastic power pieces for Wanda that have the little hinges integrated into them. I mean, these are just incredible, and hands down the best Scarlet Witch kind of like telekinetic ability powers that I've ever, you know, power pieces that I've ever had for a Wanda minifigure. And what's really great about this cloak, man, is if you look at that printing, I mean, it actually has all of that texturing and the designs printed not just on the cape, but I mean onto the hood piece. I can't even imagine how hard this must have been to mass produce. So I mean, it definitely makes sense why it took about a year almost to get this minifigure finished, and that's okay. I mean, the quality is just outstanding with either Jocka Bricks here or with Phoenix and Rex Mini Bricks version. And you know, these are also things that I kind of recognized early on, way back in May of 2021, that both minifigures were so fantastic for different reasons that I would want to have elements from both. And that's why I made sure to pre-order both. And I'm really glad I did. I will be reviewing both on the main channel shortly here. Once I finish my Batman custom, I'm going to try to kick out some Phoenix and Jocka Brick reviews. And I think it'll be really cool to take a better look at these minifigures with my actual camera and in a proper, you know, well-lit shot. But just wanted to give you guys a quick look at Jocka Brick's Scarlet Witch here as well, because I mean, with Doctor Strange 2 coming up really soon here, it is really awesome getting these minifigures in hand just beforehand, because I think they will definitely go a long way in helping to inspire the work I'll be doing on my next Wanda Maximoff minifigure, or maybe I'll even carry one of these elements over directly onto a custom and borrow one of these elements, because I might not really be able to do much better. We will see. But these are amazing. They are collector's items though, and really not accessible for everyone, obviously, and I certainly have to pick and choose which ones I really want to go for. I skip out on really most minifigures from these sellers nowadays, unfortunately, but I mean, that's okay. Being more selective and picking which ones mean the most to you, I think, is actually really important when doing collecting of any kind. So yeah, let me know what you guys think down in the comments though. I think it'll be really a lot more interesting on the main channel though, once I can do proper comparisons and stuff. But yeah, I actually just got in Cosca Reeves and Dryden Voss from the Black Series. I already have Cosca Reeves actually, but I got another one along with Dryden Voss in a flash sale that Dorkside Toys was doing. They had a bunch of figures for half off, still sealed and new in the packaging and everything. So I figured, why not get a couple figures that, while these aren't necessarily Clone Wars figures, they are perfectly consistent with how these characters appeared in the Clone Wars Season 7 for the Siege of Mandalore, while I'll obviously have to keep Cosca Reeves' helmet on because, you know, this is really just for this display going to be intended to just be a more generic looking Mandalorian Night Owl. I figured it would be really cool to have these two added to my Siege of Mandalore shelf. I just, I don't know where they're gonna go, so that's a problem.
3 days later.
Okay, so this is really not in chronological order at all, but it's about 11:30 p.m., almost midnight, and I just finished several hours of editing, honestly, like the whole evening and into the night here, on 2 previews for my upcoming Battinson minifigure using the kit from Nate's Minifigs that I have been on a detour with. Taking a step away from the Spider-Man No Way Home project, as I've already talked about. And this is the initial poster that I designed, and I was really obviously meaning to capture the tone of the marketing, including all of that red and just maintaining that theme. And I really did like this. I actually used another Spider-Man PS4 background. And I mean, I think this was really cool. I tried out a new lighting effect, but I also took some shots of the minifigure in a different pose with some of the actual, like, you know, thugs with the face paint on. I actually still had some of those leftover minifigures from a 2020 sketch that I had done. And so I took those goons and basically just did a new edit, and I wanted to do a version 2, and that's what this one is. And originally it was a poster as well, but then I was like, I don't really want to be doing 2 posters. I kind of want to have a proper preview, but I was already well into designing this piece, actually with some inspiration taken from one of Boss Logic's posters. And then I decided to transition it from a poster to an actual wide image, and so I kind of opened a new canvas and then kind of had to make some changes to the overall design that I already had to expand it out and make it into this, and I was really happy with how this turned out. And yeah, this is your first look at my Robert Battinson custom minifigure, and I think this is turning out really awesome. If you want to see it in full, of course, those pictures have already been going up on Patreon for a while now, and everybody's reactions over there have been really great. And I will have, obviously, the proper full-on look at the minifigure, you know, coming up shortly here, because I really don't have a whole lot left, aside from all the work on the back. I have to redo the cowl as well, because Nate is actually sending over his latest version, so that's unfortunate, but that's okay. And yeah, I'm really happy to be working on this figure. It is very tempting to also go and make Selena and the Riddler because they are relatively simple in a lot of ways too, but I really kind of have to rein that back in because Spider-Man No Way Home is still what is most important to me, and finishing up the integrated suit and Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man and then moving on to Tobey Maguire is still kind of like my top priority. So I kind of want to finish up this Batman minifigure as quickly as I can, make that showcase, get it out there, get it in the books, new video on the channel, and then, you know, kind of move on into the spring, summer season from there and see how things go for 2022. But let me know what you guys think of this first look at my Robert Pattinson Batman custom minifigure down in the comments. I have the Miss Marvel preview coming up here in a second, which I watched a little bit earlier before this clip, so yeah, okay. Alright, so quick reaction to the Miss Marvel trailer. It came out a few days ago. I mean, at this point, yeah, it's been several days, and I didn't really watch it when it first dropped, but I've been looking forward to Miss Marvel join the MCU. I mean, you know, Kamala Khan since, like, 2014. I remember as early as like the October 2014 like MCU phase 3 announcement, and when they started introducing crazier characters into the MCU like Doctor Strange, of course, you know, Captain Marvel, Black Panther. At the time when we were focused on the core Avengers, these were all, you know, crazy characters to be adding to what at the time was a very grounded MCU. And I remember even back then thinking like, oh man, it's gonna be really cool when they eventually add Kamala Khan in there as well to go with Captain Marvel. And now we're basically getting that here with Kamala Khan's prelude origin series that'll eventually lead into the Marvels next year. So looking forward to what's in store, and let's check it out.
So first off, I just want to say, I get it.
You get what?
High school.
Kamala.
Another Avengers shirt. Cute.
She thinks I'm some kind of weirdo.
You are weirdo. Boys. Excuse me?
Yeah.
You're kind of on my shirt.
Sorry.
But you're staring out the window in your little fantasy land. Kamala, hey, already? Really? Come on, like...
Do I have to figure out my whole future before lunch, or maybe they're right. I spend too much time in Fantasyland.
That is not you.
It's not really the brown girls from Jersey City who save the world. That's a fantasy too.
Something happened to you?
No, why? Did you hear something?
Kamala? What does it feel like?
Cosmic. I always thought I wanted this kind of life, but I never imagined any of this.
Do you even know what you are?
Nice.
I'm a superhero.
That's cool. Nice, it looks fun. I'm looking forward to it. Yeah, I think what's really good about this too is I think 2021 was such a great testing ground for the kind of, you know, in some cases, like with WandaVision or Falcon and the Winter Soldier, the one-off shows that are just meant to be preludes that bridge the gap to the next film. In the case of WandaVision, it was obviously to bridge the gap to Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness. Falcon and the Winter Soldier was a setup show for the next trilogy of Captain America films. And so I think now having that in mind, that the Disney Plus shows are not meant to be, you know, 6-hour movies. They are meant to be time spent with the characters before the movie, and I think that's okay, and I'm glad that I kind of know that now, so I'm looking forward to just, you know, sitting back and just, you know, enjoying, I assume, 6 hours with Kamala Khan before we eventually see her join with Captain Marvel next year. And I'm sure, no doubt, Brie Larson filmed a scene for the end of this first season of the show. So I'm looking forward to it. I'd definitely love to make a Kamala Khan minifigure, but I might wait till next year for that. We'll see. Yeah, all right.
Flashback.
All right, something really cool that also happened. Hot Toys Collectibles, of course, the best 1/6 scale collectibles figure company in the world out in Hong Kong. They revealed their final finished production versions of Ahsoka Tano from the Siege of Mandalore, and we've been waiting for this since August of 2020. And I could go on a whole rant about, you know, just all the delays and the constant speculation and the constant rumors about when this figure was supposed to start showing up, but now finally here, kind of in the middle of March, Hot Toys have finished the first batch of final production copies of their first Ahsoka Tano figure from the Clone Wars Season 7 and have started to ship them out from Hong Kong, but also apparently the US distributor here were supposed to be shipping them out to everybody kind of around the same time, and they claimed to have had them, but they were just like stuck at the docks. And it's just, there's been no movement, so no one actually really knows if that's the actual truth. And yeah, so I mean, I'm really excited. I often tend to go out around this time when the sun is blaring, but yeah, so I'm really excited because this final production version is really close to the prototype, except Hot Toys accentuated the colors, and so the striping on her Montrals and Leku are a little bit brighter, but namely her orange skin tone is brighter and more saturated, it's more vibrant, and you also have the eyes being just a little bit bigger as well, which is cool. And what's really cool about Ahsoka, she does have the rolling eyeballs function, which basically means that you can individually adjust her eyeballs with a little tool that goes into the back of the face, which is just crazy, and it's so awesome. And the figure turned out exactly how I think all of us were hoping, and I can't wait to display Ahsoka alongside Rex, Anakin, Obi-Wan, and the two 501st clones that I have prepared. I will of course be switching out the 501st Troopers helmets with the 332nd decorated helmets instead to celebrate Ahsoka being in the collection finally. And this is really special to me, and I wanted to have a segment just talking about it really quick because this is like the peak for collecting for me. I mean, I could literally stop right here and be content, right? Having Anakin, Obi-Wan, Ahsoka Tano now, Captain Rex, and the 501st Clone Troopers as Hot Toys Collectibles, the best figures possible for these characters, is like as good as it gets for me, and this figure is as good as it gets. So I am really looking forward to this, and it's just been such a long wait, so much anticipation, so much suspense when we knew nothing for the last 6 months as to where this figure was and what the production was like and what was going on. And now it's happening, and within the next month, people here in the US are going to start having their Ahsoka Tano figures shipped out, and it's going to be just crazy. It's going to be so cool. And yeah, I just really wanted to talk about it because when that prototype was unveiled in August of 2020, I mean, the absolute pure joy and excitement that it brought me, and really so much of the internet, was unparalleled and really hasn't happened again in that same way. So yeah, I mean, after all this time, it's crazy. We had to wait an extra, 3 or 4 months, but Ahsoka Tano is finally about to ship out from Hot Toys.
End of flashback.
All right, it's me again, out of chronological order. Quick outro for you, though. Yeah, I'm gonna be wrapping up the Batman custom pretty shortly here. I don't have too much work left. I have to do the entire back, which is still a lot, but I'm not really too worried about it. And then I have to redo the cowl and then paint stitching marks running all the way back down his cape in like, I think 2 or 3 different rows. And so once all of that is done, I will have a completed Robert Pattinson Batman custom already, and I can't wait for you guys to see it. I'm really happy to have given you guys the first quick look at it with these edits, even if it is currently using the outdated cowl and not the final rendition. So yeah, and then after that, very excited to keep working on Spider-Man No Way Home, and I appreciate all of you guys being so patient with me as always. I absolutely loved the Batman. Catching it for a 4th time a couple days ago here was just really special, and it's just such an unbelievable film with, I mean, some of the greatest cinematography I've seen in recent years, so I'm really looking forward to maybe even seeing it a 5th time as just kind of one final viewing before it ends its theatrical run and moves to HBO Max. So anyway, yeah, with all that said, I gotta get going because I gotta edit this vlog before going to bed, and it's 11:30 like I mentioned earlier, so I'll see you guys next time, and take care. I hope you guys are doing alright, and I'll see you soon. Bye guys.